Online education is not easy, and almost no one has been spared by the challenges of it in 2020. The current pandemic has led to everything going online, and education is just another thing in that list. Schools, colleges, and universities have shifted their entire semesters online and are facing a lot of trouble because of it. But who is under the most pressure during these uncertain circumstances? Is it the student who is doing their level best to maintain their mental health as well as their grades? Or is it the teacher who is coming up with lesson plans to fit the online module? Or is it the parent who is managing a career as well as a household and their child's education? These circumstances have been challenging for everyone. But let's discuss and find out who is under the most pressure right now.
Okay, so hi, welcome to online education, exploring online education through different perspectives. I am Satvika Mahajan, and we have a great panel with us today. We have Dhriti Sengupta, who's a teacher at the Sri Ram School Early Years. We have Onjang Shonzang, who is a student at JMC, and we have Varnata Sethi, who is a parent of a 4-year-old child and an artist. So I'm very excited to get into this discussion. I hope you all are as well. And let's just dive right into it. So you saw the short clip about online classes and education in a pandemic, and it discussed how nothing is easy right now, right? So I would like to start with the student who I think has a person I have a personal connection with. How have you coped with the pressure of an online class, and how has that been for you so far? Like, is there anything you'd like to tell us?
Well, I think for me, online classes for me have been like super stressful, both mentally and physically, because I'm just always in a panic state and constantly checking my phone for new assignments and deadlines, and I'm already experiencing constant neck and back pain at my age, which I'm pretty sure isn't a very good sign. And I've tried to cope by spending less time on my phone and maybe trying to fix my sleeping schedule, but yeah, it has not been working out so well.
Um, okay, so uh, let's move on to the teacher. So you've been doing a lot of lesson plans. You've been trying to make do your level best to make a curriculum that fits all students, and especially for younger generations, right? So how has that experience been for you?
Satika, what the transition period, was very brief for us to adapt to the new technical, online thing, which with zero technical expertise. We might have had made certain kind of, PPT presentations or maybe use a smart board, but actually going online and talking, we had never, ever thought of. So we had to redefine our curriculum and, had to make everything see the objective and the outcome, how it is going to be more attractive to the children, because drawing attention for children is another big challenge while teaching online, because they are all sitting in their comfort zone at home, in with their maybe in the bedroom or not even in a proper table and chair. So drawing that kind of an attention is the biggest challenge that we which we had come across, but we accordingly we had to adapt to new techniques to make the lesson plan more attractive, maybe to keep their attention constantly drawn towards the class.
Yeah. So I agree with you. Making lesson plans that fit the online module are very difficult. But I feel something that's missing out of the conversation is the parents' really perspective on it. So we have a parent with us. She is a parent to a 4-year-old. So how do you feel about the lesson plans the teachers have been making, and how do you think they have adapted to it?
Honestly, I feel that teachers are putting in a lot of effort and they are working day and night on this because I'm sure, I mean, it takes a lot to engage kids also. But as a parent, I still feel that, being a mother to a 4-year-old, I believe making them sit is a difficult task. And, they have fleeting attention span issues. So that is the biggest challenge that I believe maybe teachers are putting in efforts, but still I believe that kids are not able to sit for that long. For 1 hour also, it's a very big time for them to sit and be engaged with.
So yeah, please go ahead, Dhruti ma'am.
No, that's okay. I was just agreeing to what she's saying, that keeping them sit at one place is added, as it is a big challenge in the classroom as well for smaller children of this child's age group of 4 years, right? And at home, obviously, the child is distracted to so many things around happening. People are moving around. Maybe the favorite toy is lying nearby. So obviously, it's very difficult to keep the attention thing for the child, drawn towards the screen, because they're, as it is, more into the screen, looking through the, maybe playing a video game or watching a cartoon. They're used to it. But while a teacher talking and one has to pay an attention, that is actually, they also cannot comprehend. That's what
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, I agree with you. So, Anjang, what do you feel like? I mean, we understand maybe a 4-year can't retain that much attention in an online class, but is it the same with a student our age, a 20-year-old for that matter? Are you able to retain as much attention during an online class?
Oh, believe me, I'm not. I'm like in the same state as a 4-year-old. But yeah, I think it's very hard because it's like sitting at home and attending classes. Like there is no, and on top of that, there's no attendance as well. So you don't feel like any obligation to attend it. It's just the fact that you're constantly anxious that maybe if I don't attend it during my exams, what if I don't know anything? You're just like constantly panicked to attend it, but you're
Yeah,
not
I
really learning
completely agree.
attention.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. So you mentioned something about learning, right? So moving on to that, do you think that students are actually learning during this mode of education? So from the parent, I would like to hear, do you think your child is actually retaining information and actually putting it out in the world right now?
They are learning, but I won't say they are learning as much as they were learning during their regular school time, because right now, again, they have attention issues and they won't sit for long. And there are times, they won't even listen. They'll just ignore it. And, we have to keep telling them, please see or please listen to your teacher. So there is a part where I believe that they are not learning as much. Rather than, I believe that parent has to do much more effort than teacher right now, because we have to sit throughout the session, and after the session also we have to make them revise the whole thing, either in form of homework or in form of making them sit and revise. So that ways I believe it is not the learning that we were expecting kids to learn like the way they were learning earlier.
Right. So, Jyoti ma'am, do you agree with that teacher parents are putting in more efforts than the teachers are right now?
Of course, I do agree to the challenges faced by the parents at the same time as the teacher and the student. We all three, I think, sail in the same boat. The parents are having challenges in the thing, making the child to sit at one place in a home environment is completely different, because in school, seeing each other, there is some kind of discipline, interpersonal discipline that gets inculcated. Seeing the other child sitting nicely, they get to know about the things. They know that in a school we have to be like this and listen to a teacher, and you have to focus somewhere. But at home, it will be obviously the biggest challenge for the parents to make them listen to the teacher, right? That is, I definitely agree to it.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for the teacher
Yeah.
as well to keep the attention being drawn towards the thing. I know. I
You
think it's a
com
challenge for
you
all of us.
Yeah, I think it's pressurizing in all of us. But I mean, the ultimate question I feel is that who is under the most pressure right now? And it's something that the video that played also was asking, right? That who is facing the most pressure right now? Is it the student who's trying to grapple with their mental health in the middle of a pandemic, trying to figure out what's their next step, trying to figure out where they're going from here and getting grades, right? So, Anjang, do you have any comments on that? Do you think you are facing a lot of pressure and more pressure than the parent or the teacher right now?
I mean, since I'm a student, I'm gonna say like students are facing the most pressure because I only know my experience. But like the thing is, like I'm a third year student, and I have like I was supposed to have like a lot of practicals this semester and actually learn a lot like on field, but I wasn't able to do that. So now I'm like just doubting my future, whether I can like pursue in the field that I want to at all. And as well. With that, I was supposed to have project and dissertation as well, which I didn't have, which were cancelled because of this online mode, and we can't exactly interact with each other. And I think it's also like in physical classes, teachers could look at the students and pay attention to which student is putting in how much work and whether they're paying attention or not. But like online, with all the cameras off and everything, I think it's hard to keep track of everyone. So my college, like what they've adapted is that they keep having constant presentations every month. So I think there's like a lot of hike in work over there in that area.
Yeah, I agree with that. So Dhriti ma'am, do you I'm sorry if I cut you off, but Dhriti ma'am, do you agree with that students are at the most sensitive time, or do you think it's the teachers who are trying their level best to make an online schedule or an online module that fits the education system right now, or fits the need of the hour?
Yeah, the thing is, as I just mentioned, it's a pressure on everybody. For the teachers, we do lack the technical expertise, right? We were never technically that fit to, explore the online apps and things that are available and you use it for a class, conducting the class, right? For students, definitely it's a pressure for particularly those who are in college or who are going to graduate out from the college because they need to be exposed to a lot of, practical things and I always believe that any kind of learning more than audio visual it is the tactical and the hands-on experience that matters most for your learning, right? So I believe that that outcome of the learning is again getting very limited. The learning outcome,
Yeah.
it is definitely getting limited with the online sessions, that I completely agree. And for the teachers it's a challenge in the sense because of the technical expertise we do lack in, right? We just at times don't know how to make things more attractive, how to restructure our model that will fit into the online thing, right? And parents,
Yeah.
so definitely they are in the constant pressure because they don't know how to cater to their children.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. So unfortunately, we're coming very close to an end, but this is a discussion that we can keep on continuing forever and ever, and
Absolutely. Absolutely.
especially when we're in the middle of a pandemic and we don't know what the future holds right now, right? But one thing that I would like to say is that this is a pressurizing time for everyone, and almost everyone is going through a lot in their personal as well as their professional lives. So I mean, we can't really quantify who's under the most pressure right now, but we can come to the conclusion that everyone is facing challenges. So it won't
Yeah.
really hurt us to be considerate of that. And with that, we will be ending our program. Thank you so much for coming. This was absolutely great. And I hope we can have more
Mhm.
discussions in the near future.
Sure, sure.
Okay.
It's a
Thank
pleasure
you.
being here in this